All right, good.
Yep.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the TimeOut podcast with Ollie and Vens. We are a weekly sports episode. Sorry, I'm doing like 50 things at once. Oh yeah, we are a weekly sports episode and just friends discussing our view from the sports that we love. And we but to do that, yo, Ollie, what's up? How was your week, man?
Man, it was pretty good. Thank you everybody for rocking with us. It is Saturday, March 1st, what time we're recording this. Just for some context. And yeah, just another hectic
Already
week.
March.
Yeah. Just
It's
another
already March.
yeah.
So
Hey.
the things we said about the new year, man, just don't let that alter your plans just because it's March. Don't feel like because you haven't realized your goal yet and it's March that you're failing. Still have 9 more months to go and March has just started. So
Stack
you're
days.
not behind. You're not behind. So
Keep stacking days. February only had 28 days in it. You know what I'm saying? Just keep
yeah.
stacking days. Keep doing what you're doing. As just just make sure you're taking a step forward. Just take
Hmm.
keep taking a step forward. Much like our fans at the NBA doing everything in their power to make the game enjoyable to watch.
So we can start with that, man. Like there's been a lot of talks about people feeling unappreciated, um, the viewership and all of that. So, how do you feel, man? How do you feel?
Well, I was I'll say this. I was watching this video on YouTube. I spent a lot of time watching videos on YouTube. I was watching this video on YouTube that was talking about the game of basketball today and
Hmm.
how um, I'm just gonna shout him out to those who know. They know. To those who don't, whatever. It was Kenny. If anybody who's paying attention to basketball who know Kenny from King of the Fourth Quarter, uh, big basketball YouTuber, now part of basketball media, overall basketball media. I've been following him for a long time, but he had this video to say, basically like a letter to the NBA and mostly a letter to the fans, basically telling us to chill out and that we're doing too much hating on the game of basketball and that he doesn't understand where the hate for modern basketball comes from
Hmm.
realistically when it's better than it's ever been and
Modern
we
basketball?
yeah, modern basketball is better than it's ever been, and that the way that we
Okay.
talk about the game hurts the game more than it does any other sport because he doesn't see any other sport have former players, media members, current players, and fans themselves talk so badly about the product and about the basketball that they're seeing. Then he had some examples here and there, but the overall theme of the video was we're doing too much hating. And realistically, basketball isn't a good place because if you watch basketball back in the day and you
Hmm.
take off the nostalgia glasses off and you just sit and you watch, it's slower paced. A lot of the shots aren't going in,
Hmm.
and there are people you don't want taking certain shots that are taking certain shots. And I was like,
So,
okay. I was like, I see the point he's making, and is that and the third. But I do agree with him in this sense. We and this is going to segue beautifully to the next thing we're going to touch on because I've
hmm
said this before on the podcast. I criticize the game every day. I
hmm
criticize the game. I criticize the
man,
modern game every day. I criticize the way broadcasting and the way we're allowed to watch live sports and NBA basketball. I criticize that every day. I'm not a fan of like the
hmm
way that side of the business is going on. I criticize how NBA teams and NBA front offices handle young players coming into the league. I criticize that stuff every single day. I'm still going to
hmm
criticize that stuff every single day. But at the same time, I criticize the fans too, and I'm a part of it.
yeah.
We and I say this to I'm not even going to bring him up. But I say this to say that we aren't appreciative of the great basketball that we are seeing currently in front of our faces because we are unhappy with the way that it's being presented to us, and we are unhappy with other things like surrounding the sport of basketball.
That's what I was gonna tell you. I was gonna tell you it's not only the way it's presented. I think people find well, the best thing I can think of is misery loves company.
Mm-hmm.
So people find things to be unhappy about when it could have been it doesn't cost nothing to appreciate something. Well, the player that comes to mind when I'm saying that is LeBron James.
Yeah, I was
Um,
going to refrain from saying him too because I've been I don't want to come off as a LeBron, crazy LeBron, what's it we call it, super fan, but
mhm.
I don't hate. You can never make me hate LeBron James.
And the second player that comes to mind, and I was one of these guys, but mostly because of the way he chose to earn his rings, is Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
So I was one of those guys that did not want to hear nothing about KD. Like I couldn't, I was like, yo, I don't respect him. I don't. But came to realize the guy is a great basketball player, bro. He lacks the leadership skills, but when it comes to the game of basketball, the guy knows how to play it. So again, it costs nothing to say that. And I can go with me as a fan of the game. I can take so many examples. Like I never appreciated Kobe Bryant when he was playing.
Yeah, that's true. People talk about Kobe. People talk about Kobe now differently than they did when he was playing. I'll tell you. I'll
Yeah.
tell you right now. I didn't start appreciating Kobe until probably 20. I didn't start appreciating Kobe until 2014, 2015 when he was still playing. But they were still playing this game of like he's a good player. The Lakers aren't really going anywhere. When is he going to retire? This was before he even announced. This is pre-retirement tour Kobe, where he's still playing, but you don't know when he's going to go. And I was
Hmm.
appreciated. That's when I was like, man, I'm doing too much because I hated. I'll be the first to tell you, I hated the because and people are gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, Kobe did look to teammates. He just had to trust you." And da, da, da. Look, he was taking some crazy shots. He was taking some crazy shots, and not all they did not go in all the time. He was taking crazy shots over four defenders, two
So,
defenders, three defenders, and there's people who really like love that aspect of his game. I wasn't. I was like, just hence why I'm a LeBron fan. Just make the right play. The game is so much easier when you naturally just make the right play. I don't care if you practice the shot that you practice this shot over two, three people.
mhm.
I didn't care at the time. But it wasn't until he got older in his career. I got older as a person and I appreciate him more now. And there's people I'm not afraid to say this either. There's people now who inflate Kobe's skill and inflate his impact now that he's gone. I'm not here to discuss whether or not that's the right thing to do. That's just out of respect for Kobe Bryant and what he did for the game and what he did for the sport of
Mhm.
basketball in general. I'm not even going to touch on that topic. I'm just going to say what it is, that there's people out there who did inflate him once he passed away, and that's just a natural thing that happens. There's another player I'm going to say too that's not appreciated enough. That there's the list of players, the modern day fan. There's a long list of players that the modern day fan has not appreciated, and I'm not even talking about the stars because there's like even I remember growing up, there were certain players that they didn't have to be the big all star caliber type guys. They didn't have to be like the elite of the elite. But you, as a fan, if you really watched the game and if you
The
were
games.
tuning in, you appreciated these players to the point where when they announced their retirement, you're like 12, 13 year career, enjoy retirement. You
Mhm.
played great for every team you was on. You was That's why like
It was solid.
yeah, you remember when DJ Augustine retired, and I was like, he had a solid career. I enjoyed my
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
That's the type of like that's what I'm talking about. Like you appreciated these players, even though it never appeared like they had eyes on them or they weren't appreciated by the league or they just weren't that crazy good. But you were watching them night in and night out, and you were like, yeah, no, this guy was solid. Another player I'll name is like Sean Livingston. He was another one that I like mainstream wise, I feel like he always gets appreciation that he rightfully deserves. Sean Livingston was another one of them. Um, I'll say J.R. Smith. We don't appreciate J.R. Smith enough as a basketball
J.R. Smith is mostly
of
because
the
of the Cleveland Warriors thing when he miscalculated a shot. So that's what I was gonna say. When it comes to modern day basketball, and again, people are probably gonna come for my head for that, especially since because I'm a guy who bet too. But the whole betting system it makes it easy to hate a player.
easy, ridiculously easy. And talking about Jr. I didn't. It was when I was like thinking back, and I'm just like I remember Jr. on Denver.
Not even Denver, New York.
No, There's a clip. I hope they find this clip. Jr. dunked two handed from the free throw line. I don't. I think it was
Yeah,
against.
yeah, was a
It had to
killer.
have been against the Kings, but it's he with the Jordans. Nah, J.R. Smith headband. J.R. Smith from Denver. Crazy. Knicks J.R. Smith too. Most
That's
people
what I'm
will,
saying. He
most
was a
people
killer
will
still.
remember. Most people will remember Knicks J.R. Smith. But I'm talking like speaking of the Knicks, like a player like Raymond Felton. He was solid. Just the list of players that I feel like the modern day fan will just, especially now too, because the game has gotten to a point where people are scoring more, people are averaging more points than ever before. Like you'll look at strictly numbers, and you'll just be like, oh, this player only averaged 15 points a game for his entire career. He was ass. He was terrible.
Yeah, but look at the other stats number, or how many assists, how many rebound, and like again, I gotta take ownership for my mistakes. I remember we had a podcast with Noelle where we were talking about Dorian Finney-Smith, and I was like, I don't see the impact he has on the Lakers. I
Have
owe
we
this
checked?
man an apology. Yeah, you guys check me out. But I owe this man an apology because I watch a couple of games and I see now what he does. And Noel, he was correct to tell me, yo, if you're a player, if you're a guy who look at stat sheet, you're not gonna see his impact. But look at a game, and I watch a couple of games from start to finish. I was like, bro, I owe this man an apology. So this it's like a lot of times stat sheets don't reflect what the guy is doing on the court.
True. And then to get back to the video that I ended up watching, he said something. The most interesting thing he said too, which I wanted to get your opinion on this. He said that the the claim that all NBA teams play the same it shows that you're not really watching the game of basketball. And I wanted to get your, because I agree. I don't think all NBA, and
Mhm.
you could probably check other podcast videos. I probably said something to the tune of like the if I said that all NBA teams played the same, I wasn't referring to like the play style or the things that they do. I'm talking strictly from. I'll explain later, but essentially, he said that it's not true that all NBA teams play the same. You might see similar concepts. I was like, because in my thing, I was like, every team is playing high pick and roll in some capacity. Every team is doing certain things in some way or shape or form. But that doesn't
Mm,
necessarily mean that they play
A
the same.
lot of them, a lot of the teams are jacking threes, but I don't think all of them play the same.
Yeah. Because I was like, well, and that's a thing too that I wanted to address where I was like, not play devil's advocate for the people who over criticize the sport and this, that, and the third. I'll say the things that we are tired of seeing. It's not that we want to see people take more long twos. It's not that we want to. It's just there needs to be more diversity in the
On
shot.
offense.
Yeah, more diversity on offense when it comes to the shot that the possessions end with. Does that make sense? Like it,
Yeah,
because
so uh, there's another thing. I was watching like a last night I was actually watching Clippers versus Lakers. And there's a play where again I'm gonna talk shit about him, but no disrespect though. There's a play where Finney-Smith cut to drive to the basket. And he had no eyes on the hoop at all. And he was being guarded by Harden. He could have went up. he tried to pass it to Hayes. Cause yo, you know how he has his head down. He's not looking at the basket at all. Like everybody can say that he's going to pass. Even the announcer was like, "Yo, sometimes you have to go up and take a shot. Like you cannot just go in and try to kick the ball out." But he did not try to kick it out. He tried to pass it to Hayes. Hayes wasn't paying attention because Hayes was like, "Yo, you're being guarded by James Harden. You can go up," and that was a turnover. So I think in the mentality back in the days, a guy cut into the post, he's gonna go up. Even if he dies, he's gonna go up. But now people are more prone to kick the ball out and try to get a quick three or try to throw it to the big man. So those are the reason why people say that everybody's playing similar type of basketball. But I don't believe that they are. I
Mm-mm.
just think that the players are I cannot even say that for Finney Smith because the kid is a dog, man. Like missing free throws or not sure about themselves. Or maybe in display it was about yo, I'm a kick it out or something. But I don't know, man. I think players are, and I hate using that word, a little bit softer than the 90s. But then again, it's not true because you will see a guy like Anthony Edwards go heads on. You will see Ja Morant go heads on. Like, I don't know what changed that culture nowadays, but I don't know the reason why, honestly, bro. But I, I, it's
I'll say this. I'll never get mad at. I'll never get mad because um. And another thing too that I agree with. I've changed my opinion on it because I really had to check myself when I heard this. I will say this, and it might be a hot take. Defense today is not as bad as people say it is. I'll say it again. Defense today is not as bad as people say it is. It's just the talent level of these players is just way too. You remember there's a saying we used to have back in the day: good defense, better offense. That to me, that has never been more true in this era than any other era of basketball. Where
You
you
really
could
think so?
Yes, because we have a guy like Nikola
Uh,
Jokic who you could be playing amazing defense on for 23.9 seconds, and then he'll just decide. He'll just be like, "Okay, you did a great job. I wasn't able to go anywhere. I got nobody open to make this pass. I'm stuck in the corner, and you want to know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to fling it up and it's going to go it's not going to touch the rim. It's going to go in, and that's
so
demoralizing. You have a player like Shea Gilgis Alexander, where you could be playing the best defense you can on him, and then you want to know what he does? I'm just gonna hit you with this shoulder bump. I'm gonna take a shot from the mid range, and I
a
might get a stop.
fadeaway, and I'm knocking it off. You have Luca, the spin move.
You could be doing your best. You could be doing your best to guard me. I'm gonna go at
I
my
saw,
pace
I
the
saw, I
entire
saw something.
possession.
I saw something similar with LeBron again in the game last night, where they were guarding him like crazy, and he just pulled up under the post and did a sky hook, and people were going crazy, like, "Oh my God, I wish he would shut that more often." I'm like,
Like it's too many.
so when you put it like this, I'm inclined to agree with you,
Even in like
but oh,
even
hold
in
on. But at the same time, you got players that are not on that caliber level, dropping an easy 15 to sometimes.
that's the talent level. That's not to say that defense is not being played on him, because you got to think about it. We're in an era where even centers have to have a jumper.
Yeah, yeah.
We're in an era where if you're a center and you don't have a jumper, you want to think about like a guy like Jackson Hayes. If you're not in a on a team like the Lakers where you could be a lob threat or where you have value defensively, you're out the league.
Honestly, bro, talking about this kid, that's another man I owe an apology to because I did not think he was gonna step up like this. He's carrying his own. He's holding his own. No lie, I don't know how the Mark Williams trade will have panned out for us, but I like the team, bro. I think I think the Lakers have potential. The way they played the defense as a group. And last episode, we tried to judge. I asked you how will you grade JJ's coaching. We were not really in agreement with this, but I gotta give JJ a solid B, bro. The defense is good so far.
I
It's
said I
good so
said I
far.
would wait. I said I gotta see him play Denver. After
Yeah,
watching him play Denver, I give like the way like defensively, the way he played, when you see a coach have a scheme to deny a player the ball, and you see how he does it, where a lot of times they were doing a lot of switching, and whenever the ball
mhm.
had a chance to get into Jokic's hands, not LeBron, JJ always made sure to have multiple players within the lane to just kind of be a threat. Where it's like if you pass this ball, there's a higher chance it could result in a turnover. I saw that a lot from JJ. So that's why I'm like, yeah, having Luka on your team does make coaching a lot easier. But at the same time, he's still
But
to me, he's
it's
still an improvement over Darvin Ham. I will never
it
sit here and give Darvin Ham like you could never make me sit here and say, oh, the Lakers owe Darvin Ham an apology and no, I will never get on that. No,
definitely not.
never, never.
When yo at this time last year, what was the Lakers' position? We're not that good.
No, I'm pretty sure you're fourth in the Western Conference right now
Yes,
too.
we are. Yes, we are.
And I'll tell you, I'll be the first to tell you.
And last
And
night,
remember when we did our before the season started, we did the thing where we expect all the teams. I had the Lakers as a playing team,
playing, yep. Yeah, yeah.
so they exceeded.
31-27 behind Grizzlies. Not bad. We are we are better suited than the Warriors. We are better suited than the Mavericks, better suited than Minnesota, Sacramento, better suited than Phoenix.
I didn't have Phoenix. I don't think I ever had faith in Phoenix.
Yeah, but they 11. They're not even a playing team right now, right? It's playing is 8 and 9, 10 and 11, right?
I think so.
Oh, so they are a playing team right now. They are one win better than the Trailblazers.
Mm.
That is disappointing for Phoenix.
But they don't. This goes back to like what we said about roster construction. If the team, you can't just have a team full of bucket getters. And why did I put it in quotes? I'm sorry. They are bucket getters, but you can't have a team of nothing but just scorers and then think that's going to solve your problems for you. That's not how. It's not how this works. We've had years of bad failed teams now at this point to know that that's not how that works. You need a proper roster with players who are star in their roles, and then you need your bucket getters to take you to the finish line. You can't just have, oh, we have this guy, he's a bucket. Oh, we have this guy, he's a bucket. Oh, we have Devin Booker. Devin Booker is going to play point guard for us, and then we're going to no. It's not how that works.
You don't think the team is solid? Mm,
On paper, if you read the names of the Phoenix Suns on paper, you're like, yeah, this is a team that should be able to do so and so, and they should be able to do. But it's like they still. I had the same feeling when Beal was on there. When Beal went over there, I had that same feeling. When KD went over there, I was like, oh, okay, they could still do something, but they don't have a point guard. And I had the same every single time they made a move. I was like, oh, this could go somewhere, but
they have they have they have KD and Bill averaging 40 minutes a night.
that's and look at what
That's
they're
I think that's
they're
a lot. Booker is averaging 35 a night.
it's not, and it's still not enough.
Grayson Allen
And
is
it's
putting
like
on
their team,
30. Yeah, it's I mean,
and they have Tyus
um
Jones. Like I don't know.
oh, I was gonna talk about him. Tyrus Jones. I feel like he misled me. I was high on him at the beginning of the season.
Cause no, he's a solid. Cause he's a solid. He's a solid, like backup PG secondary. Like he can do it. This isn't some kind. This isn't a point guard who. He's not like a Jalen Brunson on Dallas. That's not. he's not Jalen Brunson on Dallas, where you're like, okay, this is another scorer, another playmaker, another this, another no. But he's solid enough to do what needs to be done at the point guard position. Like he knows his role, he plays it well, and relatively he's played well on all the teams he's been on. Relative. If we get into the nitty gritty and really examine his career, I'm sure somebody could prove me wrong. But
Mm-hmm.
that being said, with the Phoenix Suns, they're just it's one of those too top heavy in one aspect of the game, and it's like it's too late for you to really fix anything. On top of the fact that they put a lot into Bradley Beal and he hasn't performed. Like the Bradley Beal experiment has failed, so that hasn't really helped the team in any case.
So I wasn't one of the guys that thought, or sorry, that thought that was gonna be a success.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Not on it either.
I might be harsh on Bill for saying that, but there's players that I can see, I can have an idea of what's holding them down and what's making them look great. It's the cheerleader effect. So, for those who don't understand, the cheerleader effect is if you put a group of girls together under the flashy lights and with makeup and stuff, they all gonna look appealing. But if you take each of them separately, they might not be as appealing as they look together. So when I look at Russell Westbrook before the Lakers, when everybody was, oh my God, he's a two times MVP or a triple double holder, all of that. I was like, but what what is his teams doing besides the Rockets though? Because it wasn't teams where a night players were working for Westbrook. I witnessed on OKC where there was a rebound to be taken, and the center literally moved away for Westbrook to grab that rebound. It was like Cristiano Ronaldo in Real Madrid, where everybody was working for him to score. So of course, but where OKC was going, they were not going anywhere. Rockets, he got with James Harden. They were doing some damage a little bit, but still didn't go anywhere. So I was looking at it like, okay, he's a good player on a team that is working to make him look good. So of course he's gonna look good. When we got to Bill in Washington, what was Washington doing? Yeah, at any night, Bill can take, and I'm maybe exaggerating, 50 shot and probably like 20, 25 will go in. So that will be like, oh man, it's putting 40 something point a night, it's putting 50 something. But when you get to Phoenix, you got two shot takers ahead of you. You're not gonna be the primary shot taker. You got KD. Oh, they're gonna draw the offense for KD first, and they're gonna do it for Booker second. You're the third option. You're not gonna succeed as much because you are used to be the primary option on offense. You're used to have the ball in your hand like that. Those guys are not gonna lower their number just to make you look good. They are superstar too, and you might say KD is more solidified than Bradley and Booker. KD has two rings. Maybe it's questionable the way he got them, but more nonetheless, he has two wings. I mean, two rings. So he's gonna always be the primary option. So you are gonna get KD's leftover. Why? What he doesn't want to shoot? Why he doesn't want to take? So how you think you're gonna pan out? Because it's not like four guys working for you to look good. It's you are working for two other guys to look good, to look better than you. So I always thought that it was gonna be a failure. It's same thing when everybody was looking at Westbrook when he got to the Lakers as, oh no, he cannot shoot. Why they went and got him? But I was looking at him like, yo, it's one big ego and two other egos that are a little bit friendlier with each other that are gonna bump on the court. That's how I looked at it.
I wholeheartedly disagree. As a former Westbrook disliker, I was not a Westbrook hater. But
Hmm.
hate is a strong word. But I did not like the fact that he struggled to that he couldn't shoot the ball. I will say I will say that. However,
Mm-hmm.
when he was on OKC, the reason why it was like I know the player talking about where Steven Adams is when Steven Adams was on the team and he could have grabbed the board, but he moved to the side and let Westbrook grab it. That was because during that team, for that roster, for that team to work, they needed Russell Westbrook to have the ball to advance the ball in the fast break situations. So it benefited the team. It
Where
benefited
did
the team.
where did the team go? What did they win?
That's what I'm saying. That they were still
Uh,
they were still a playoff team. They weren't like
Early
the
elimination.
Westbrook was never on the team as bad as Beal's Wizards.
Oh no, bro. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there was ever a team as bad as
Even though
Washington.
they weren't like a playoff contending team, but they were still in the play. Like if when we talk about the plan, right? Like pre-playing, you could never like I can't tell you. We could look this up. I don't think Westbrook was ever on a team that was like playing bad. Maybe low seed, maybe like 6, 7, like
Okay.
fifth, but never.
All right. Let's look at it.
Let's
Let's
put
look
some
at it.
respect
No,
on Westbrook's
let's
name
look.
here.
No, let's look at it this way. And no disrespect toward Russell Westbrook. I'm not taking away any of his accomplishments, but let's look at it this way. When you After Westbrook, who was the second best option on? Well, take Rockets aside, it was James Harden, or maybe they could intertwine. But OKC, let's say in OKC, after Westbrook, who was the second best option?
Whoever was open when he got his assist for that triple double was the best second. Actually, let me
Yo,
not say that. Let me not say that. Let me not say that
that's what
because
I'm
I
gonna
just
tell you. An assist is
he
the
had
easiest
Victor
thing
Oladipo at
to
one point. Victor
Yeah,
Oladipo,
Oladipo in OKC was a killer,
and
but
he played very
still,
well for them.
he was a killer. I'm not gonna take anything away from them. Uh, what was the year Westbrook
And
on in
then
OKC?
he
2012.
also had Paul George, and him playing with Paul George gave Paul George his best season in terms of MVP and in terms of like numbers and everything. He magnified Paul George's play the last time they were in OKC together. So let's put some and the roster construction
Okay, hold on,
thing.
hold on, hold on. I am, yeah, you're right. Because I'm looking at 2012, 13. No, that was with KD and all
That
of
was
them.
with KD. That was with so like when he was by himself,
That would be
quote unquote.
2015. 2015, yeah, I think that was the time where it went okay. Let me see the roster.
They had and this is another one of those
They
players that I
still had
feel like
KD in
he was a
2015.
dog too. And remember Ennis Cantor? He goes by Ennis Freedom now.
Yeah, yeah,
He was on that OKC team
he was a solid player for them. They had solid players, don't get me wrong, but everybody was working for Westbrook.
because it was in the benefit of the team.
I don't like that. I don't like the whole it benefited the team for
It
all
did
of us
in the
to be
games.
working for one player.
They won more games when Westbrook got a triple double than when he didn't. That's just a
So
fact.
2018-19, that was with Paul George. They
Yeah,
finished sixth
yeah.
in the standing. That was good. But I don't even know. I cannot see where they got eliminated.
And you can't even say they were
Oh,
working for
they
Westbrook in
lost. They
2018.
lost. Actually, they lost in the first round versus Portland. The Western Conference versus lost NBA Western Conference first round. Portland. Who was in Portland?
Dame.
That's Oh yeah, Dame was there. Oh, they had Seth Curry, they had
A squad.
Freedom, CJ, yeah. Oh, they had the Haitian kids, Calabisia. Where's that kid now? Where he plays?
Out the league.
Bro, I felt such pride knowing that a
He
kid.
should have been good. He should have been his skills. He was
It's not
that's
even
a
that. So that's a kid that grew up kind of similar to me. Went to the same school I went to in Haiti. So I was like, yo, you know, I was so I was so happy for him. But things happen, man.
yeah.
But
But yeah,
anyways, I
and then
mean,
on the roster,
again.
He
No,
didn't
it
have an
is.
ego. He didn't have an ego either. I'm taking this take down, man, because
Who doesn't have an ego?
Russell Westbrook does not have an ego. Teammates who talk about Russell Westbrook have nothing but positive things to say about Russell Westbrook. His ego would not have clashed. His ego
Oh
was never the reason
man,
why it didn't work on the Lakers. His
I,
ego
I
was
I did not say
never the
it
reason
was.
why it didn't work on the Lakers.
I just said it was. I said I saw it coming because I thought about it that way. I was like, yo, Westbrook was for Westbrook to be successful, he has to have the ball in his hand. Who next?
That's not ego.
No. Who else needs the ball in his hand? LeBron.
LeBron.
And I was like, and what another thing that I will give you that's not ego because when they put him to start as then when they told him it will be best for him to be six men,
He
he
did it.
accepted. He did it.
And
So I was
he
like, oh,
flourished. Well, I don't want to say
no
flourished, but
lie,
he was playing
no
better.
lie, bro, no lie. That was surprising to me. That was really surprising to me
It
because
wasn't
I
to me.
did not see Westbrook starting on the bench, and I thought about the same thing going down in Denver. I was like, yo, putting him to come off the bench, but he's doing great in Denver, so it's a better setting for him. So
And he's moving off the ball. He's playing well with Jokic. Like in Denver, he's
he's a way
appreciated
better setting for
there.
him.
He's appreciated there more. Like he's there. And I'll say this again too with the Lakers. It wasn't just a roster construction. It was roster construction. It was coaching. The Lakers was a shit show when Russell Westbrook was there. I will say
But
this now.
Westbrook will not have succeeded in the Lakers, bro. Westbrook and LeBron James together it's not
No, he
a
could have
good.
succeeded if they weren't trying to force him to be a shooter.
That's what they needed at the time.
And you
And
don't.
it's like me waking up today and telling you at my house and I'm telling you, yo, Ollie, I'm gonna cook for you today. I'm gonna make you a steak. And I go to Walmart and bring a pack of chicken. It's not gonna work.
And that's not Westbrook's fault. That's
I
roster
never said it
construction.
was his fault.
No, I'm saying that's not. I'm saying that's roster construction. That's roster construction. That's coaching. That's because you like, yeah, we need a guy who shoot threes. Let's get Russell Westbrook.
Exactly.
And then when you get him, you have. But that's why I'm like, and that goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning, where we're like,
Mm-hmm.
no teams play the same. If you look at Denver right now, they have like Westbrook. They have a lot of players who every NBA player in this league can take an open three. Can they make an open three? Maybe, maybe not, but you don't want all of them shooting open threes. The Denver Nuggets is like that team where they have guys that if they're open and like the shot clock's going down, or if they're like if you don't send anybody to them, they will take that three, and there's a good chance they can make that three. But that's not what you want them doing. I'll say Aaron Gordon's one of those players. Westbrook's one of those players. Like they've got like their roster is a very versatile roster where they can be a good shooting team on any given night, but they're not chucking threes all the damn time. And when I love watching Westbrook play when him and Jokic are on the court together because Westbrook is cutting to the basket. Westbrook is moving around and Jokic is
Westbrook.
guarding him. They
Okay,
were not doing that. Like the way he's playing, even when he went to before Denver, when he was playing on the Clippers, he played better on the Clippers than he ever did in a Lakers uniform.
let me tell you guys this though. I don't want you guys thinking that Westbrook is a player that I hate. I don't hate
He
Westbrook.
doesn't hate Westbrook.
And
I'm just
again,
breaking down his crazy take, y'all.
I never took anything Westbrook accomplished for granted. But then again, this whole concept about I'm working for one player as a basketball player is something that pisses me off.
That's your ego. You have more ego problems than Westbrook did.
Nah, it does piss me off because we all on the team to put in numbers and to win and to play a position. If I'm a center, my job and all my position entails for me to grab rebounds. Why I'm moving my ass on the side for Westbrook to grab a rebound and for him to stack pad. And I know people are gonna be like, "Yo, you're talking about stack padding? You're a
Yeah,
LeBron James fan."
I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna let you finish though. I'm taking out. He got me defending Westbrook. I'm gonna defend Westbrook. All these takes, the stat padded take, they're all crazy to me. I'm not gonna sit here and let. Anyway, go ahead. Finish what you got.
Okay, so I know people are gonna be like, "Yo, LeBron James fan." There's nobody that does more stat padding than LeBron. I don't think he does. I don't think LeBron does stat padding. And were to Skip Bayless if he was there, he probably would have been like, I'm crazy. I don't think LeBron does stat padding. I think if LeBron is on the field, is because he needs to be. Because I've seen LeBron check himself out of games just because it was a lost cause and things like that. But again, I may be reaching when I say stat padding when it comes to Westbrook and that Steven Adams situation. But then again, it pisses me off as a guy who loves the game. I want to see everybody put their numbers in. And yes, he was getting assists to whoever was open. That's a great player passing the ball. But I think assists is the easiest thing to get in the league. When you take point, rebound, and assists, I think in the three categories, assists is the easiest thing to get. That's my opinion. Go ahead.
Man. Oh yeah. Oh my god, what do we get? How is a player doing what they do best, stat padding, when it is in benefit to the team? I'm gonna say this again.
Wait,
The
Westbrook
reason,
grabbing rebound is not stat padding. He does that best, grabbing rebound. Westbrook
yeah,
in a team that has Steven Adams.
yes,
You
it
will put
benefits. It
Westbrook as your
benefits.
primary rebounder.
Steven Adams grabbing the board, and what is he gonna do when he grabs the board?
I said the Westbrook.
We're gonna cut that step out, have Westbrook get it immediately. Why? Because you are giving the ball to one of the most athletic guards, one of the fastest guards in their prime.
Hold on.
I say this because in Miami we were doing this with Kyle Lowry. Why? Because when you have a guard whose play style is advancing the ball in the fast break, it doesn't matter whose job it is to get rebounds. The main job of a basketball team is to win. I don't care about your rebounding numbers. We need to win this game. If we need to win this game, we're gonna do what we have to do to win this game. We're gonna let Kyle Lowry grab the board so he can advance the ball up the court faster, because a fast break point is the easiest, most effective point to get in basketball. When you have Russell Westbrook on your team in his prime, the easiest bucket to get is in the fast break. Let him grab the board. And for all the stat padding people out there, because he wasn't the only one, they almost had me too, because I was a Westbrook disliker. Russell Westbrook was winning more games for his team when he had a triple double versus when he didn't. Not because he was stat padding, but because him doing everything in his power to do for the team benefited the team. Especially when it was without Kevin Durant, and he was getting guys like Andre Roberson open looks, and he was doing pick and roll with Steven Adams, and he was getting Steven Adams easy looks at the basket.
That's what I'm saying. Assist is when you have Steven Adams to do pick and roll
The
with
guy got to
assist is
make the
easy
shot
to
for you
get.
to get an assist.
Yo, you know how dumb a center gotta be to miss on a pick and roll?
Hey, we've seen centers miss on a pick and roll all the time.
Where are they now? They're not in the league no more.
Shoot, I could give you a couple
We're
names.
not talking about just a
Rudy
regular center.
Gobert
As
is
much as
still
I'm,
playing basketball.
don't get me started on this guy, man. Don't get me started.
I could give you a
See,
name right now.
listen to all the fans of the podcast, all the fans, everybody listening,
I'm not
everybody.
the biggest
You see,
Gobert fan.
there's two people that before I talk good about them or talk about them at all, they have an action to make. There's Fabio Cannavaro. He has to return the Ballon d'Or that is at his house to Ronaldinho. And there's Rudy Gobert. He has a couple of defensive player of the year that do not belong to him.
That's a fact. Okay, so going to players, I'm also of the belief that I don't think LeBron. I'm never gonna be like, oh, this player is clearly stat padding. This player is clearly stat padding. Because if a player is if at any point in the game, because the game isn't over until the clock is zero. And in the NBA specifically, we have teams come back from 26 points. We've had the famous Tracy McGrady scoring 13 points in less than, what was it, like 13 points in 11 seconds, something crazy, something stupid.
Yeah. T-Mac was.
They could have called, oh, he's just stat padding, he's just doing this, he's just doing that. The game was well over. Everybody could. That's doing this. The whole stat padding argument discredits and takes away from teams and players just doing whatever they need to do to win. And if we're going by, oh, this player's stat padding, this player's doing this player doing that, some of the greatest comebacks in NBA history where a team is down 26, where a team is down 30, where a team is down 20, and they need to go
Mm-hmm.
on a crazy run in a quarter to come back and win the game, those things don't happen with this, oh, this player's stat padding. So let's take that out. I want to, like, that's one thing I want to see be gone from basketball
Bro,
discourse. I
there,
hate it when people say
there's
so and so is stat padding. I hate
that's
it.
one thing you're not gonna, unfortunately, people are still gonna say that.
It's so
They
like
say that a lot about LeBron, like, oh, he's always stat padding. But yo, to go back to the whole appreciating the NBA, so Jason Tatum came out and say he doesn't feel appreciated in the NBA. And to go back to what we were talking about, I think it goes back to how us fans view the game. And I kind of feel bad about that post because I'm one of the guy, and it's not Jason Tatum, bro. It's not Jason Tatum. It's not Jalen Brown. It's not
it's the
Derek
Celtics.
White. It's just the Celtics.
It's the
I'm gonna tell you how much I
I,
dislike that team. I
I'm a
used to
Heat fan.
love Porzingis in New York.
Mhm.
When he went to Dallas, I was like, yo, my guy went to Dallas. As soon as he went to Boston, can you, if somebody asks me what Porzingis is doing right now, I cannot tell you.
Couldn't tell you. And he's playing well for them too.
Bro.
Bro.
The only thing I was happy for them was when they got yo, I see his face, but the name, their point guard, that they got from was it from Milwaukee? Uh, he has
Oh, you're
dreads
talking about
now.
Drew Holiday when they got
Drew
Drew Holiday.
Holiday, yeah, when they got Holiday, I was happy for them because he was one of the missing piece. And I told the Celtics fans that I was like, yo, you're gonna win it this year. And they was like, ah man, I don't, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna win it this year. And they did in fact win it. But bro, it's nothing against Jason, man. I just cannot look at that green uniform, bro.
I'm a just say I'm a Heat fan. I got nothing against Jason Tatum. I'm just a Heat fan. That's all it is.
It's not even about
I appreciate
who
Jason
I'm
Tatum. I
fan and
appreciate
who
Jason
I'm not a
Tatum's
fan
game.
of. It's just yo, the whole city of Boston when it comes to sports. Yo, I just disagree with them.
Okay. When in that draft when Jason came out of his draft class, because I remember there was no way he was gonna go first, and nah, he wasn't gonna go first in that draft class, because they were before the Celtics had him. He was, in my opinion, he could have gone second
Hmm.
before he went third. But when he was drafted, I was telling all my friends this. I was saying, like, I was like, because at first I'm like, I couldn't understand how the Celtics got a third pick. That was one, and then two, I was like, he in his entire draft class, Jason Tatum is the most effortless scorer in, like, scoring. I don't think, if watch Jason Tatum early in his career, scoring was beautiful. Jason Tatum off the dribble, isolation, scoring was so easy for Jason Tatum. He was the most effortless scorer in his draft class. I was saying this to all my friends. I was like, look out for Tatum. He's young, he's this, he's that. The Celtics are going to be okay. They have one. They're in good position. And when you look at his resume, even before they won the championship, when you look at the stuff he had done in his career leading up to the championship,
Hmm.
you could argue, if his career was to stop at that moment, and then you were like add a couple more career points or like career accolades to the end, that's a
Hmm.
Hall of Fame career.
Hall of Fame career, yeah.
That's for that to me, that he's another one of those players where it goes back to his, not to, because Jason Tatum, I don't know if he sees this, whatever. But it's like, it's one of those things where where your brand is clashing with the populace of the NBA and what we as fans would like to see. There's a reason why, even though Tim Duncan was highly respected in the game, you could never sit here and tell me Tim Duncan was the face of NBA basketball.
Mm-mm.
And
Nah,
Tim Duncan was revered. And I think that's the part that I feel like Jason Tatum is alluding to when he's saying we don't appreciate him. There's no reverence for a Jason Tatum, even though he's quietly giving you 27, 25 a night on a
again,
team.
let me tell you this though. When it comes to Tatum, he's one of those guys that knows when less is needed and when more is needed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's not the type of guy that will give you 30, 30, 30 every night because some night he doesn't need to put up 30, but he
Nope.
will need to give 10 assists. He will do that. He will need to grab a couple of boards. He will do that. So to me, that's the beauty of basketball. A player that knows when he needs to do what he needs to do. Okay. In that essence, a lot of guys who don't understand the game of basketball. See how you said that you see Tatum averaging like 27, or he can give you 27 in any night. You have this Celtics fans. I'm gonna call him Lucky, since that's their thing. You have Lucky seeing the Celtics is playing Indiana tonight. So he's like, yo, I'm gonna do a polish it. I'm gonna put Tatum for 30. I'm gonna put Brown for 25. I'm gonna put this and that, whatever. And then in that game, Tatum realized, yo, I don't need to put 30 points.
Nope. That's
Brown
not
is
needed
at.
anymore. Yep.
Brown is at. I'm gonna give Brown the ball every time so he can. Brown puts 35, and Jason finishes the game at 15. You go on those IG pages, posting stats, and you see Lucky in the comment. F Jason Tatum, man. It's not a. It's, but yo,
He didn't need to
you are
drop
not
30 that night.
exactly. You are not appreciating this guy's talent to see when less is needed. And mind you, tomorrow they are playing the Rockets, and Brown is not hot in that game. White is missing. This other guy is missing threes. They don't realize I gotta put up 35. He's gonna get you that 35. So how? Yeah, me again. I tell you, it's the green uniform.
It's
Uniform.
the
But
green
you,
uniform. For you, it's the green
anybody
uniform.
has a Celtics fan that is taking this guy for granted, I'll take it. I'll take him off your hands.
Oh, if you want me to love Jason Tatum, just put him in a Miami Heat uniform.
Yo,
I'll gladly show Tatum all
this
the
is
love in the
one
world. If
dude.
Tatum is if Tatum is wearing my Vice jersey, if him and Bam are good friends, he might make me like Bam. If you like, we could make that happen.
Stop daydreaming, bro. Stop daydreaming.
Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop. I'll stop. I'll
But
stop.
let me tell you this. This is one thing I like about basketball is one player that understands the game. And sometimes us as fans, we tend to just look at, yo, he's not giving me. He put up 15 the other night. Did he need to put up 20? Did he need to put up 30? What about all these other guys that were hot in that game?
Did they need to? Did they need
It
to?
circles back to that Denver and Lakers game, for example. Everybody was hot on the Lakers. Achimo was putting 20. Reeves is putting 20. Do I need Luka to put up 35? I
Nope.
don't need him to put up 35. Do I need LeBron to put up 35? I don't need. Let those players play because you don't get that every night.
But that's why I'm saying it doesn't even have to do with the numbers with Tatum. Like it's not with the numbers with Tatum. It's the it's
I,
it's
yo,
it's everything else that has nothing to do with basketball. Because I'll give you another name, and this is the name that he was getting compared to a lot, where they're like, if you look at Tatum and you look at Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the public, NBA media, they have more appreciation for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander than they do for Jason Tatum. And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander hasn't done half of what Jason Tatum has done in this league.
okay, it goes back to, well, I don't know if I'm putting my 2 cents, or I'm thinking about it. I think it goes back to the style, like the looks, the way the player carries himself.
Yeah,
Because
off the court. The
Shea,
aura.
Shea, Shea has that little swagger about
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah.
Tatum is, and that was I was gonna tell you earlier. I was gonna tell you, I think it goes to personality. But then last episode you told me go watch him on the podcast. He is a fun person. He's just so I mean, again, I think his whole personality is the same way he approaches the game of basketball. Less is more. He doesn't
Yeah,
want people involved in his
yeah. And he's just like,
personal life. He's
yep.
just, yo, I'm gonna do this and that. But this is, guys, and honestly, it pains me to be talking like that about a Celtics player, but this is one damn good basketball player, bro.
Yeah, and we let so many other players who are exactly like that. Like Kevin Durant is not. Kevin Durant is more like Jason Tatum than people realize. It's just. I'm being so serious. Kevin Durant is about basketball. Kevin
Oh,
Durant
at
wants
all,
to
a
hoop.
hundred percent,
He
a
doesn't
hundred
care
percent.
about like what he doesn't care about what narrative y'all are pushing. And at one point in time, Kevin Durant was arguably the best player in basketball in his prime.
You you know what why I laugh when you said that?
Mm.
I caught his episode on the Logan Paul podcast
Mm.
where they were asking him, does he have a girlfriend who is dating now? And he's like, man, it's all basketball.
It's all basketball, and that's not it. That Kevin KD literally just hoops, smokes his weed, like does whatever does his own podcast for his businesses or whatever, and then that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's it. That's
Nobody
what he
knows
do.
what he's doing behind privately, man. So
No, and as one of the best players in the league, they never. He wasn't the face. I don't actually. He had a couple commercials. He had his run too. It was very brief. They were like, "Oh, the Slim Reaper, the Tarantula, this that." Like
yeah, but
he had his
people
thing,
at one point, KD was the most hated player in the league
and that
when he
counts.
went to Golden State. So I feel like the fact that people did not want to hear about him kind of cost him those commercial type of things.
I mean, shoot. Even if it did, it is like this is still a player. This is still a player where his personality, like same thing with going back to Tatum. It doesn't all Jason Tatum is gonna do is he's gonna have his pregame routine where it's just him and his son Deuce. They're gonna shoot around and do whatever. He's gonna prepare for the game. He's gonna come in the game. He's gonna drop 25. He's gonna do what he has to do for the end of the night. Night's gonna end. He's gonna do his post game interview. He's gonna go home, chill, and then repeat the process.
Dude,
Like I don't,
the hate is getting so bad when it comes to Jason that even Deuce is catching strays.
and that's not fair. And
It
and and
definitely is. And one thing I'm gonna tell my the fans of the podcast, you can have a beef with anybody. You can have a beef with even in your personal life, anybody. But don't touch people's kids. See, I don't have kids, but I respect people's kids because you don't do things like that, bro. You
nope.
don't talk bad about people's kids.
Wife and kids, keep wife and kids out of it.
Keep it out.
And then
So
I'll say this. I'll say this too. For Jason Tatum and his whole personality thing, I the thing that's gonna hurt him more now, because part of me is happy that he's saying he's not appreciated, he's not this, he's not that. The thing that I don't want him to do is I don't want him to do like to act different in order to make it seem like
to
you
be
know what I'm trying to
liked,
say?
to be liked a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't want
I
him.
don't think so.
No, because I'll say this, because not even to like make himself more likable, but just to do certain things. Prime example I'll give you is, I'll circle back to Jason Tatum after, but I'll give you a prime example. The first year that LeBron James was on the Miami Heat and he was trying to play the villain, he wasn't being himself. He was still playing like crazy and dropping crazy numbers, but you could just tell this wasn't like a person comfortable like just putting on something, whatever emotions he
Hmm.
was dealing with. This wasn't a person playing like themselves in order to do what they do. And you could take this lesson wherever you want to in life, in whatever space that you're in. If at any point in wherever you're at you find yourself not acting like yourself, it doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. If you're not
Hmm.
acting like yourself because of criticism or because of certain things people want from you, you're not going to put your best foot forward. You're not going to do your best work. It might not be immediate, but there will come a time because you were compromising yourself so much, your worst work is going to be what follows. Look at LeBron.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
lost that finals bat and averaged 18 a game.
Hmm.
The chosen one turned into the frozen one. All the
Hmm.
Skip Bayless was even
Yeah.
good that summer. Jason Tatum
Oh, Skip had he had what you call it? He had words for days.
for
He
days.
had things to say for days.
For days. And then for Jason Tatum, I'll say I hated it when he did this. When they won the championship and he got the mic and he was like the famous clip where he was like, "Oh my God, we did it! We did it. I hated that clip because I was like, what? Because it's like, be you, bro. You don't have to do all that. You don't have to like look like appreciate the fact that you won your first championship in your own way. You don't have to create a moment. And then like you already seen it too. Like the NBA was trying to use it in all their commercials for championship where they were posting a clip of Jason Tatum in the
That
weekend,
was more.
and it didn't work.
It felt like more an NFL moment.
Yeah, it didn't work. Just in all that, you will be appreciated. It will come, but it's gonna be delayed. It's gonna be a thing that we call delayed gratification. That's what's gonna happen for Jason Tatum because as of right now,
So
with the modern day NBA fan, we don't appreciate players until
yeah,
they're
yeah,
gone, until they're gone, or until they're gone from the game, or until they're gone in general. When we don't see them,
yeah.
for Jason
I'm
Tatum, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, again, if y'all don't want him, send him my way. Send him to the
Please,
Lakers.
please, and another thing too that's gonna like another thing that's gonna make people him not winning that Finals MVP did hurt him too. So if the Celtics are in the run for another championship, if the Celtics are in a run for another championship, he's gonna not even have to, but if he wins another ring and wins another Finals MVP, his own way, not trying to like shut down narratives or nothing, but just playing the way that he plays and he wins.
Do you think he deserved it?
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't. I'm
Okay.
not saying he deserved the one that he got because in that entire playoff run, it was very. The Celtics played like the Celtics in that whole playoff run, where it was like if a player was struggling, another player picked up the slack, and if Jason Tatum was ever struggling, Jaylen Brown more. A lot of the times in that playoff
It
run,
was
Jaylen
Jalen.
Brown was the most consistent player during their run. So Jaylen Brown, 100%.
That's another solid player, bro.
Yeah. And Jaylen
Yeah.
Brown 100% deserved that Finals MVP. But it's the same thing too, where it's like we give Steph Curry a whole lot more respect and reverence as a player now. But at the time, when Kevin Durant had that Finals MVP over him, when Andre Iguodala had that Finals MVP
Yeah.
over him,
Yeah.
people were talking about Steph Curry not the way they're talking about him now. They still respected
No.
him. They still
Yeah.
respected him more than they respect Jason Tatum. Is
Mhm.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And when Steph Curry finally got that Finals MVP, and you could see that he was the main reason why the Warriors really won for real, that's when it was like with Steph, there's nothing bad you could ever say about Steph. Jason
Yeah.
Tatum for me, he just needs one more Finals MVP, or he just needs something. Because if you look at his body of work on paper, this is a player where if I didn't tell you this was Jason Tatum and I just gave you all the accolades, all the numbers, all the everything, and I was like, do you think
Oh,
this guy's a top player? You would tell me yes.
yeah. Of course. Of
And then
course.
if I show you Jason Tatum, and then your emotions are gonna get in there, and they're gonna be
Get
like, well,
over.
I don't
Yeah.
like his personality, I don't like his this, I don't like his that. And it's like,
So to move forward a little bit, uh, well, Zion is at 264 pounds
and I
apparently.
told you so. Told you so.
It still needs to lose more weight.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, let's see what the 264 is gonna do for him. I'm telling you, man, I'm disappointed. You know, that's a very that's a crazy comparison to make. But I'm like an ex who's hurt, okay, and I'm salty. So let's see what's that gonna do for him, and then maybe, just maybe, I'll be like, okay, is doing that. But as of right now, I'm still not hype going back on that Zion hype. I'm not.
Do you have the same smoke for Luca? Because the whole reason they got rid of Luca was because
Oh,
he was.
Lucas on that Ozempic, bro. Lucas already losing weight.
I don't think it was ever a problem with Luca, man. Like, and then we had people taking pictures of Luca. They were like, "Look at him in his rookie year." Yeah, when he was like a teenager.
Yeah.
Let's stop all this. Let's stop all this weight talk. Zion is good now. We just need Zion
Let's see.
to play
Let's
consistent.
see.
He's
Let's see.
good now, man.
And
If Zion started his career like this at 264 muscular, we wouldn't be talking about him the way we talk about him.
they would definitely will have not, and I will have not been hurt. Let's talk. So, Paul George, Paul George is taking a break from podcasting just to focus on helping his team win. And that could not come at the worst time because Embiid, today they announced that Embiid is out for the rest of the season.
76ers are a joke. And to all my 76ers fans out there, to all my Philly fans out there, the process is over. You guys need to move on from Joel Embiid. It's over.
Yo.
It's time. I don't care how many surgeries he gets. I don't care what he does to his body. I don't care if he averages 30 next season. The process is over. Move on. Get what you could get for him. The Joel Embiid era,
Experience is
the
done.
the experience. This is what it's the process. This is where the process is finished. This is where the process is landed. It's over. We told y'all in the beginning it was a mistake to trade for an injured Paul George, and y'all got an injured Paul George, and lo and behold, he got injured. He's
And
been
ready
not only
again. Yeah.
get injured, he's been playing injured since the start of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Then this player kept getting injured. Then Joel Embiid kept getting injured. Then Joel Embiid
Yeah, man.
would play back to backs. Now Joel Embiid is getting experimental surgery on his knee to see if he could just prolong his career and come back for the team for the betterment of the team. And this is where the business of basketball is ugly because if you're a GM, you don't want to do this man like as a human being, as a man. You don't want to do this man wrong. But at the
No.
bottom line, at the business part of it, there's no way you keep him on your team. There's no way there's no way you build around a guy who can't play.
Quite frankly, I don't care if they keep him or not. I just want Maxi to either get out of here or win because I like Maxi. It's the player that I like the most on their roster. Honestly, I don't care what they do with Embiid. I don't care what they do with
I'm
Paul
gonna say
George.
something. What do you think about Jared McCain? He was playing
He's
so well for
he
them
was
before he
playing
got hurt.
very, very well, and then the injury came and took him out of all this contention. I gotta watch him a little bit more, but I think he has the potential to be great. Like Kenny he can be solid, man.
Solid. That's why
I
I'm
think so.
take just if I'm the 76ers, just trade Embiid and fleece a team. Pull a Oklahoma City Thunder and get all the first round picks, get all the solid role players, get all the potential stars you can get. I'll give you get a couple picks and get Norman Powell on the team. Just get somebody who could just add some life to the roster. Something because there's no way because what is it? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and
Over
over
and
again.
over expecting
There's
different
no
results.
way exactly. There's no way you can go off season and be like our plan next year is to build around Joel Embiid and make the postseason. And then the season comes around, Joel Embiid hurts a new ligament in his knee and he's out for the rest of the season, or he's out for pivotal months of the season where you need to make a push for the playoffs, and now your team is a playing team or at worst missing the postseason, and then
Right,
you want to
right
make
now
them.
they're not even in playing contention right now.
There's not even a
They're 12.
chance. And then if I honestly get rid of Paul George too, the Paul George experiment was a failure. I understand he hurt his shoulder and he's been taking shots for pain and stuff, but
They
you
paid this
knew
guy so much money, bro.
you
You think they're
paid
gonna
him
let him go
so
like that?
much. I mean, trade him, but who wants him?
Nobody.
So it's one of those things where it's like you're making the worst decisions as a franchise. Honestly, they need to go ahead and hire Buddy from Dallas. Like that's a marriage that needs to be made. Nico needs to go for the Philadelphia 76ers because they both make terrible decisions. Like because this you can't look at Paul George who
Yo,
he played well for the Clippers, yes, but this is still an injury prone type of player who when he's hurt, he doesn't play at his best level when he's hurt. The man, he's been playing terrible and he comes out telling you, "Hey, I've been taking these medicines and I've been getting shots in my arm before every game just so I could go out there and compete for this team and see what we could do for this team." It's like that's great. That if I'm a fan, I'm like that shows you have passion for the team and you're doing everything in your power. But you scored 2 points in 37 minutes. Shut it down.
yeah.
We can't.
Mm.
It's not helping.
I don't know, man.
It's
And
not
I
for
feel like
you to say you stopping the podcast because you're gonna try to do what you can to get the team to a playoff push. If he does the impossible, that helps his legacy. I don't see him
yeah.
doing the impossible and getting this team to a plan. I don't see that happening.
But
Just
yo,
shut it
it's
down.
like you being the general of an army and be like, yo, I'm gonna do the impossible to bring you guys back home, and guys are falling left and right of you. Now, what impossible are you gonna be able to make? with no soldiers.
And if I'm the front office, I can't look at this season and say I'm gonna put all my eggs in one basket and keep building around Joel Embiid and pay Joel Embiid this money, or look at Paul George and pay. There's no way you could do that after this offseason.
Maybe,
There's no
maybe,
way.
maybe they can call Nico Harrison and trade Embiid for AD.
And I'll double down on Joel Embiid talk. This is why I was so mad when he said now that he played for the USA, he's gonna try to play for Cameroon. This is what Cameroon's gonna get. This is what you're gonna give Cameroon.
How the Cameroon wants him though. They will take the name just to get clout. But anyway, talking about players playing for their, we're gonna switch into soccer. Players, soccer players.
Who got
Cristiano
called up to the
Ronaldo.
national team?
Huh?
Who got called up to the national team?
Not yet. After Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo hit 925 goal for his career. Do you think he's able to hit 1,000? He has 75
Yeah,
more.
if he plays for if he
He wants to play for the World Cup next year.
he ain't playing for the World Cup next year. he ain't getting he ain't getting
Don't say that. Him and Messi are planning on playing for the World Cup next year. And if Messi plays it, Cristiano Ronaldo definitely. Cristiano Ronaldo will play that World Cup on wheelchair if Messi's here.
That's a deep. He might actually, but he's not. I don't see it. If he plays, he's not getting crazy minutes.
Not even crazy minutes. I don't think he's gonna get. He's gonna score. Like even if they played
I
the
don't
way
see him
they've been
scoring
playing
either.
for him to be a center attacker and score, I don't think
They're not
he's
doing
gonna
that.
be scoring like that. But he might be scoring a lot for his club, for Al Nasir
Yeah,
or
that's what
Al.
I'm saying. He could get to 1,000 if he plays for his for like a club in a league that's like not the best league with the best, like a league where the if he plays for a league where the best player in that league isn't sniffing Cristiano Ronaldo's talent in his late 40s, he could get to 1,000.
He's in his early 40s. It's the same age as LeBron. He's a year older than LeBron. He's
That's what I'm
41.
saying. That's like if he's in a league where the top player of that league isn't sniffing his talent, he could get to 1,000. Because you have to
I
understand
think
in
he
that
can.
league he's
I
gonna
think
be
he can
scoring like
get a
crazy.
thousand if he plays 2 more years. When I say 2 more years, I mean the remainder of this year and next year. I think he can get 1,000 from that because there's a lot of games. Obviously, with the World Cup coming up, we're gonna go on an international break. He might score a couple of goals for that international break for Portugal because right now he's playing decently. Come back, play for Al Nassr or Al whatever, and keep scoring.
Yeah, I mean
I
he
think
could.
he can reach it. And I think the plan for him is once he's done over there is to come to the MLS. If he comes to the MLS, he's definitely reaching 1,000.
But yeah, that would be ooh. I honestly, why doesn't he come to MLS sooner? You know how big that
Yo,
would be.
I was okay, I'm gonna tell you this. When I saw Neymar went back to Santos,
Yeah,
I really thought that his deal over there was over and he's coming to the MLS. Yo, imagine Messi's playing for Miami, Cristiano Ronaldo's playing for LA, or one of these big. The only reason why I didn't say New York Red Bull is because those guys don't want to be in the cold, so they will choose to be in a place
yeah,
where
they're
it's
not trying
bigger.
to be in the cold. They're
Yeah,
not. What?
that's why I didn't say New York City FC or New York Red Bull. But imagine he's playing for one of the LA team, and Macy's playing Inter Miami, and they get that would be sick.
That would be. That's what.
That
That's
would
what,
be
like why do we
sick.
need? Maybe he'll do it. He'll do it
I
like
think
later
I
on.
think once his contract is over, it will come because Neymar got his money and got the F out of here, bro. Neymar is back in Brazil right now, playing for Santos. He's playing with Robinho's kid. When he first got that was a whole publicity stunt about it. Oh, your dad took me under his wing. Now I'm gonna take you under my wing. A whole I'm like, bro, look at this. Dude, that was the biggest um finesse of money that I witnessed in soccer. Dude went to Saudi Arabia, signed for millions, like and a lot of millions. Did not really play one full season because he was always injured.
And then
He got better,
in and out.
back to his country.
Yep, living good,
Oh, yo, Neymar said, I'm gonna go get this Arab money and I'm gonna get the F out of it.
living good, set up for life.
And guess what? Since he been playing over there, I think I might be wrong for this, but I should fact check myself after the recording. I'm gonna fact check and come back with the answer for this. I think since he's been playing over there, it's the first time that he's been called up to the national team. So while he was playing over there, I don't think he ever got called up to the national team.
Wow.
I don't think he did though, because when he went to play for the World Cup for us, he was still in PSG.
Hmm.
That was World Cup was 2022. That was PSG time.
Hmm.
He did not play in the Copa America because of injury, because
Yeah,
he
he
was
was
always
hurt.
injured over there.
Yeah, he was hurt.
He probably played in a couple of friendly games, but I gotta check that. That would be crazy because he's in that list. So that's what Ali was referring to earlier when he said who got called up for your national team. Brazil released their pre called up list today. And I did not know, well, actually I did know that, but I thought it was a one-time experience that the Brazilian coach had the power to resuscitate the dead. The first time he called Lucas Moura for the Copa America, that was once in a lifetime moment where you call a guy that all us Brazilian fans forgot existed. Completely forget. What has Lucas Moura done in the past couple of years for him to get a national call up? Nothing. And he came to the Copa America, did not play well at all, as expected. Now, and I hate to do that again. Like people make me talk shit about my people that used to be my favorite players. He called out Oscar, a guy that I used to love, but as soon as he went to I think he went to China or one of those leagues,
Hmm.
he said it himself. He was like, yo, some people choose to win trophies, me, I choose the financial security of my family.
Hmm.
He went there
No,
for
nothing wrong.
money.
Yep.
Hmm?
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. But he knew and he said it. It's like I went there for money and I know my soccer level of career literally took a hit. Yo, since Oscar went over there, we never heard of him. Like, never heard of Oscar. And now he's on a pre-call list for what, bro? If you want to give somebody a chance, why not call those younger players doing good things? All I'm still waiting on the 23rd official list before I start talking real shit. But right now, seeing Oscar on that list, it's pissing me off. And I'm one of those guys that's been calling for this guy's job since the Copa America. And it really bugged me when the Brazilian soccer federation president came and said, "We're sticking with him." I'm like, well, you're sticking with him, you're not gonna see gold. Cause yo, why
You're
why
not
would you
gonna see
call
gold. It's
you're not
crazy.
gonna see gold? You're not.
You sticking with him, you're not gonna see gold.
You definitely not, bro. Okay, this is the list. They call up Ederson. Well, Ern is Manchester City's goalkeeper. Alisson, Liverpool goalkeeper, although he was injured toward the season, so I'm pretty sure Ederson will be starting. Or this crazy dude, yo, I almost cursed crazy on the podcast, bro. This crazy dude might start Alisson, although he's not in peak physical condition. They call Bento. Bento is a good goalkeeper. I'm hoping he will get a European contract next year, but he's solid for Brazil. He's a solid goalkeeper. The other two, well, the other three, I don't know them. Actually, I know Everton. How would they call him? Lucas Perry is older.
Hmm.
Hugo Sousa, I don't know him. I don't really know him. Lucas Perry is on the older side, did not really do much as a goalkeeper.
Hmm.
Riverton, same, solid, but not. If you have Ederson and Allison and Bento, you don't really want Riverton. That's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Defender, Alexandro. Alexandro is, well, I gotta say this for my Brazilian fan like me following with Bills. We have been suffering for um what you call left backs and right back. We don't have that at all. That's why we're calling a guy like Alexandro because he was playing for Juventus, did not do much. It's not that solid of a guy. I don't know why are we calling him. We have Beraldo, who is playing solid for PSG. So yeah, okay. Danilo, another guy that we're calling. I don't know why we're calling him. What Danilo has not done anything. Fabricio Bueno, don't know him. Gabriel Magalhaes, solid defender for Arsenal.
Mhm.
Leo Ortiz, don't know him. Marquinhos, solid defender for PSG. Murillo, I don't know him. As lateral, like left back and wing back, and right back, like I was saying, we got Abner. I've heard of him. I haven't seen much. And I already told you guys that about Alexander, we call Alex Telles, which is playing overseas with Cristiano Ronaldo because he couldn't hack it in the European league. We got somebody called Dodo. I don't know him. I hope he doesn't come and sleep on the field. We have Douglas
He's already
Santos.
talking. Yo, okay, okay, okay. Chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out.
We have Douglas Santos. I don't know him as much. We have Guilherme Arana. I gotta tell you guys, those guys are new guys because we have been experimenting with left back and right back because we don't have a solid guy that is at that level yet. I hope in that list there's somebody that can break out and somebody will see me like, oh, okay, this guy can play. But we have not had a right back or left back since Marcelo that we say, oh my God, this guy can play. Van der Son, Wesley, I don't know those guys, so I cannot really say anything. For midfielders, we have Alisson. I don't know him. Andre is a solid player. He played in the Copa America. I watched him. I was high on him. Did not get much play time, but he can carry his on. And I think he plays for, if I'm not mistaken, I think he plays for one of the clubs, either in the French league or the Portuguese league. I'm not sure though. I gotta look into that. Andres Pereira, another solid midfielder. We don't have an issue with midfielders. We have solid players that can play
Mhm.
midfielders. Andre Santos, Bruno Guimaraes. That's a midfielder that I like, but my brother cannot stand him. I think he's solid for Newcastle, but a lot of Brazilian fans are like, no. The reason why I like him is another type of player that knows what to do and when to do it. So you might not notice him on the field, but he's doing dirty tackle, he's defending, he's doing what he's supposed to do. But the only reason why you're not noticing him because he's not giving you 5 assists, he's not doing those type of things. But at the least expected moment, he can score.
Mhm.
So I like the player that can do the dirty work.
Mhm.
Because if we remember back in the days, there was a guy named Gattuso. You will witness him because he will be getting yellow carded, but he was doing the dirty work. So, um, Ederson, I don't know him that much. Gerson, I think it can be a solid bench player for us. Joao Gomez is pretty good.
Mhm.
Joe Ellington, same thing as Gerson, solid bench player. He's doing good at Newcastle. He called Lucas Moura again.
Calm
He
down,
called Lucas Moura again. I'm
calm
telling
down,
you,
calm down, calm down, calm down.
this
I saw
guy
his name.
has
I
the
was like, I
power
know
to
he's gonna get
summon
to
the
his team.
dead.
Calm down, calm down. Keep
He
going.
called Lucas Moura again.
Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going.
We got Lucas Paqueta, another guy that I like, but people don't like him. I like the guy, but they don't like him. Mateus Cunha, I thought this guy started as an attacker, but I see they playing him as a midfielder now. I guess he feels better there, but he was a solid attacker. He had a nice header. Neymar Jr. is there. Back in the, I was, exp- I- yo, I'm happy about, not happy, I'm excited to see. Because I said that earlier. I think I said that earlier episode. I said the Brazilian thing is missing a leader. I think Neymar can be that for us. So I want to see how that's gonna work out. But they call Neymar as a midfielder, so I'm pretty sure Vinicius will start on the left.
Mhm.
We got Oscar. Again, I
Hey,
already
hey,
talked my
move on.
shit.
You already move on. Move on.
Already talked my shit.
Move
We
on.
got Anthony as an attacker. Anthony is, if he was Manchester United Anthony, I would have talked shit, but he's playing pretty good football for that team in the Liga. I forgot the name. Is showing people his talent, so I'm glad for him. Bruno Enrique, I don't really know much about him. Hendrik, no, today they talk shit about Hendrik because they removed Mbappe to put Hendrik today for Madrid, and Madrid lost today, guys. So. Hendrik is on the
He's
list.
not in good graces right now.
Not
Moving
in good
on.
graces. We got Estevao. Estevao, I'm hearing a lot of noise about him. He hasn't convinced me yet. But people are telling, if you look at highlight, he can play soccer, but he has not done much for me to be like, oh, he's good for Brazil. Just like
Oh,
Vinicius. Just like Vinicius.
okay.
Gabriel Martinelli, solid player from Arsenal. Solid player. Love him.
Okay.
Certain people don't, but I love him. I don't know Galeno. I don't know this guy. Igor Jesus is a nine, solid nine. I hope they start him. I like his play. Igor Paxiao, I don't know him. I don't know Joao Pedro, Luis Enrique, don't know him. Rafinha, obviously, Ballon d'Or season, gotta be there.
Mm-hmm.
Rodrigo, solid player, great
Mm-hmm.
player, best player for Madrid right now.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel Lino, I don't know him. Savinho, I love this kid, but people don't. Vinicius, great player for Madrid, shitty player for Brazil. Has not done nothing with Brazil. Nothing. Yuri Alberto, I don't really know him. So I cannot wait to see the cutoff. We are playing, is that Colombia? It's either Ecuador or Colombia. Those flags always get me mixed up. People, don't judge me. We are playing them March 20th, and we are playing Argentina March 25th. So, this is about to be a big game. So I want to see the final 23, but knowing this guy, I expect to be disappointed.
Yo, it's too early. Bottom line is, people, he's very pessimistic about the team, and it's too early for him to talk shit. Okay, it's too
Uh,
early for him to talk
dude,
shit, but he's
it's
not
not even
optimistic about the team.
this guy, Dorival Junior, bro. With him, guys, if you're a Brazilian fan, expect the unexpected. Don't be surprised if a lot of those players that I told you were solid are not don't make the 23 cut, and you see Oscar and Lucas Moura on the 23 cut. Yo,
God.
I'm telling you, bro, with this guy, I don't expect much. Because I was having this discussion with a couple of friends. I'm like, I I never been to coach school. I play a lot of FIFA, but I don't think that qualify me as a coach because I think you
Nope.
have to go to school and do all that. But looking at the players, man, looking at everything, I think I can assemble a better Brazilian team than this guy. Me personally, I think I can.
And that is how we will start the next podcast episode.
Yeah,
Vens will assemble a better team
yes.
for the Brazilian national soccer team.
And unfortunately, there's no Brazil on FIFA, but I wish there was a Brazilian team on FIFA so you guys can try that Brazilian team and see. But next episode, I will do that for you guys.
Okay, that's how we will start the next episode. Man, wow, we had a lot to talk about.
Yo, we definitely did,
We
man. We went over.
we
So,
went over
but
time. Thank you guys for rocking with us.
thank
If you stuck with us this long, you are a real
yo,
one. You are a
Will
real
one,
one.
much
You are a
love,
real one.
guys,
You a
much love.
trooper. We had a lot to discuss. Um, how do you feel? How do you feel about Russell Westbrook? How do you feel about the Brazilian team? How do you feel about
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum? How do you feel? Like, is there you know would you say that fans of any sport, is there more appreciation for other sports than there is for basketball, or do you see
Hmm.
the same, or is there still more criticism? Is the criticism for sports nowadays more negative than it was back in the day? That's what
And
I would.
how do you think? How much do you think that has to do with betting?
Yeah, yeah. The impact of sports betting on how we talk about
View
sports and these
sports.
other things. Let us know in the comments down below how you feel.
All right.
Thank you for rocking with us. We'll see you guys next
And the
Sunday.
next one.
And
Peace out.
peace.